You don't need a studio to look like you have a studio. That's the secret many professionals don't want to tell you guys. Hey guys, welcome to Phlearn. My name is Aaron Nace. You can find me on Twitter at AKNacer, and this is what Phlearn's all about, baby. I'm letting you on the inside track, the insider information. I'm willing to bet that just about maybe half, maybe a third of the studio pictures you've ever seen in your life were not actually done in a studio. They're probably done in someone's house or their garage or a friend's house or a parking lot, things like that. People don't know what you don't tell them. And for the most part, professional photographers don't tell anyone anything. And I'm a little bit different. So I'm going to show you guys how you can make a studio at your house cheaply, which is very important because we are moving into a studio. Phlearn just got a real studio, but the only, really the only reason we got this, guys, is so we can help, teach you better lighting and things like that. Could we have done just about every shoot we do in our living room? Probably. We really could. But, Phlearn it's kind of building to a level where, we just have to be able to produce reliably, a lot of content for you guys. So that's why we're getting the studio, so we can really do a lot of stuff for you. But you can totally do a lot of the stuff that we do in your own house. So I'm going to show you guys how to do it. There are, 5 big things that you need, and they're not expensive. The first one is this guy. This is a seamless paper. It really is. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see my eye? Hold on. Hello. I can see you. This is just a seamless paper, and it really is just paper. It comes in a million different colors. This is by the brand Savage. You can order it on B&H or Amazon. They'll ship it to your house. They come in a bunch of different lengths too. This is a shorter length, and they come in 9 foot. I believe it's 8 or 9 feet, and then there's a really long one as well. And this is the key. This right here will make anything look like it's a real studio, and it's just paper. Basically, here's how it works. You put one of these guys in here. So number 1, you need some seamless paper. Number 2, you need one of these guys. It's a crossbar, or you can just get a seamless backdrop stand. They sell both of these. I like this one. It's by Manfrotto. I'm going to link to this stuff below so you guys can check it out. But the reason I like this guy in particular is because it's small and it telescopes out. So as you need it to get longer, I wonder if I can touch the camera. Hold on. Oh! I just touched you. What do you think about that? And so you need it to get longer, you can do that. And so it'll fit in a light stand bag. See, it's smaller than the backdrop itself. And it'll extend out, and you can put a full 9-foot seamless on it. So it's nice. It's $40 or something like that. So you definitely need that. And they attach to any light stand. So you can see this hole here that just goes on the top of your light stand, just like this. Bunk. Lower that down so you guys can see it. There we go. Attaches to your light stand. Now, that brings us to the third thing you guys are going to need for your home studio, and that's light stands. And there are a few different categories of light stands. Personally, I really like the big, heavy-duty light stands. I have a few of these Avengers. They're big and they're heavy-duty. They're huge. I mean, this is a A410B. I mean, this is a huge beast. It's a monstrosity. But I feel pretty confident that I could put about whatever I wanted on this thing, and it would definitely hold it. The legs go out really wide, which, gives me some stability, and you can see here. Isn't that awesome? I like these things, and they kind of make me look cooler too, so I like that about them too. But, these, for location work and stuff like that, these are really not that optimal. And inside your own studio, sometimes they're not going to be optimal as well. The way a C-stand is designed, the legs just, they look like this. I actually don't have any here. So you can put the C-stands a lot closer to each other. So if you're in a small space and you have you have a light on a light stand, and then you have your backdrop and things like that, you can use C-stands because you can literally put them right next to each other, and the legs won't get in the way of each other. So if you're struggling with space, C-stands are a good way to go. They're solid and they're good. I guess one downside of a C-stand would be that they're pretty much supposed to be heavy, sturdy things that go in a studio. So finding one that's 2 pounds probably won't happen. They're pretty much always very heavy. This light stand, this is totally cool for a backdrop stand or something like that. So this is a much smaller light stand. This one's by Paul C. Buff. It's just a really small guy. And if you're just putting a backdrop on it, if you don't have expensive lighting and you're not outside, there's no wind or something like that, this is totally fine. And these are a lot cheaper too. So that kind of just depends on what you guys want to do. But if you do have your nice expensive stands, I would use those for your lighting where you really don't want that coming crashing to the ground. Your backdrop, you don't want that either, but it's not going to happen usually. Like, it's just, you know, there are no cords coming from your backdrop. Backdrops pretty much just stay where they are. So you can use a smaller stand for those, and it's going to be a bit cheaper. So you can get 2 of these, they're like 40 or 50 bucks each, and then one of these for like 40 or 50 bucks. Get a backdrop for 40 or 50 bucks, and you really are like very, very close to a professional studio. And even if you don't have lighting, guys, like, that's a big secret. If you just shoot next to like an open bay of windows and you shoot during the day and light is bouncing around your room, you can totally make studio shots with just a backdrop and, you know, grab a couple of stands and use some regular lighting. And that's really cool because you can get just about the same results that most professional photographers can. I mean, you won't be able to get like the rim light and all the fancy stuff, but you can get like really legit nice pictures from, you know, just a couple stands and a backdrop. So I think that's really awesome. The next thing I think you guys should use, if you're in a small space, a boom is really, really helpful. Basically, a boom it's the same in any term, like boom for audio, boom for video, whatever. If you have a light stand that goes like this, your boom goes out like that. And the reason they're really good is because if you need to put a light relatively close to your model or something like that, you can put your light stand off to the side, out of the way, and then you boom your light back over top of them. And you can use booms really well to just work with a small space because you're not really like, you don't have to stick the light stand exactly where you want the light. You can get it out of the way. And this is a pretty decent boom here. It's a let me show you guys here. There we go. This is an Avenger A45B or something like that. I'll link to it below. 475B. It's actually a mini boom. So it's a light stand which flips over to a boom, and this will boom out just like that. And then it's got a hole on the other side for a sandbag. We'll get to that in a second. So you can use these booms, like, you know, put them way out of the way, and then there we go. You got your light or whatever you want to out there. You can rotate this around, stuff like that. So booms are a really good way to make a good use of your space because it's just like, they help you get things out of the way. But the last thing you guys really, really need, if you are going to be working indoors, if you're going to be working with models, are these. They're cheap. This is just a sandbag. It's literally a bag filled with sand. Actually, this one might be like little pellets or something like that. But invest in a few of these. Like, they really can make a difference. And especially like if you guys are using less expensive light stands, like the smaller ones I showed you, a few of these are going to make sure they're not going to go anywhere. And when you start putting weight out on the end of a boom, like, I'll use my finger here and probably like be able to tip this thing over. Like, you don't want that to be able to tip over and fall on your model and ruin everyone's days. So what you want to do is put a sandbag on the other end to kind of counterweight it, and you also want to put a sandbag on it on the ground. I mean, you can make your own sandbags if you want to like grab some sacks and fill them with sand. I prefer to buy mine because I would rather spend my time not making sacks full of sand, but they're also really essential. So sandbags, get a few. They're really, I don't know, they're great. I love them. I think I would marry a sandbag if I had to.
It would weigh you down.
It'd weigh me down.
It'd weigh you down.
You're right. I don't want to be weighed down. And the last thing I'm going to suggest to you guys to build a home studio is one of these guys. It's a, this is literally just a fan. It's for garages and things like that. I got it on Amazon. Dean Bradshaw actually recommended this one, so thanks, Dean. It's great. It really is just a fan, but it can add a lot of motion and a lot of, there's a lot of feeling into your image. You wouldn't really think like that makes that big of a difference, but it really does. I use it on just about every shoot. It's got a few power settings, and look at that. You can even plug other things into it. The reason I like this, Stanley, is because it's very directional. You can move this thing around. I know that's horribly noisy, so I apologize about that. You can move this thing around, and it will like point wind directly at your model. So you guys want to see how it works? I'm going to turn it on for you. Luke, I am your father. No, but really, I'm your dad, okay? Yeah, come home at this moment. You're grounded. Yeah, you, mister. So that's the 5 things that you guys can get relatively on a tight budget. If you had to cut something out of it, I would say, you know, like if you don't want to get the booms can be a little bit more expensive, so you could just use a regular light stand. They sell these things called extension arms that just clip onto the top of regular light stands. You could always get those later if you wanted to, but don't cheap out on a backdrop, and don't worry about getting canvas. In my opinion, I went back and forth with this for a long time. It's like, should I get the canvas? Should I just get paper? Just go with the paper. I mean, canvas it's kind of nice. Like you can get all kinds of nice patterns and things like that, but they tend to wrinkle unless you get the really expensive stuff. So go with the paper. If it gets crappy, you just roll more paper out and you wind up buying just more paper. It's not really that expensive. It's totally worth getting. So those are my suggestions. What do you guys have for your home studios? Are there any things that I forgot about? Are there things that like laying around the house that you're like, I found a totally awesome use for this potted plant that I had never thought of? Are there cool things that you've done when you're shooting in the house? Like, do you have suggestions? I just tend to move all my furniture. Like, I'll just clear out the living room, move all the furniture, and just cramp in. And it's worked okay so far. It gets to be annoying if you wind up having to do it a couple times a week, but it works okay. It'll save you a lot of money in the end, too. So let me know, guys. What are those suggestions? And, I look forward to know it because I like saving. I like saving the money. Hold on, what about